Katseye has 2 Grammy nominations. The Katseye that sung Gnarly, the Katseye that sung Gabriella, that Katseye. At this point, I am so glad that Katseye has a song talking about God bless the mean girls, because after this, I may be a part of that cohort. A Grammy is an extremely prestigious award that many artists dream of winning one day. Even to get a Grammy nomination is a ticket into complete stardom for a lot of artists. That little gramophone statue is a recognition from your peers that out of everyone who submitted their music for recognition that year, yours was the best. But somehow, some way, the Best New Artist category is filled with TikTok music. And this year, one artist in particular was of note to me. Some articles may incorrectly label them as a K-pop girl group, but they are a global girl group with members hailing from the USA, Switzerland, Korea. But the cool part is, despite having a lot of members that come from America, there is a diversity of ethnic groups represented in the group, which gives it even more of a global feel. Katseye is a group that was formed through a competition survival show called Dream Academy. The interesting part about these survival show concepts is that they give these groups a built-in audience as soon as they come out with their first song. However, in Katseye's case, their popularity has grown far beyond the people who are just watching them on Dream Academy. Now, random children around the world are doing the dance to Gnarly and saying hands off Gabriella. While these girls are very talented, or shall I say young women, #woke, but their success in terms of getting a Grammy nomination raises a few questions for me. Once again, let me be clear. All of the nominees this year are giving Matcha La Boo Boo Rave in Dubai. So Katseye isn't the only nomination that shocks me. However, they're the only one whose music I've actually listened to, so they're the only one I'm going to speak directly on. I think that those girls have the talent to deserve a Grammy nomination. However, being the part-time icon that I am, I'm surprised that they got the nomination at this point in their career. And it led me to wonder, how do people even get nominated for Grammys? Like, how does this whole process work? Well, first, artists submit their music for recognition. After all the artists have submitted their eligible music for recognition, the members of the Recording Academy are then invited to vote. They can vote in areas of their expertise. Like if you're a classical artist, maybe you shouldn't be voting for the best rap album, right? That sort of common sense logic applies. And then they also have the opportunity to vote for general categories like Best Album of the Year, Best New Artist, different things like that. And it does sound like a very fair process. And based on that process, it seemed like members of the Recording Academy just vibed with Katseye's vibe. And the reason why I say their music is just all vibes and little to no substance is that their record label seems to still be figuring out what Katseye's sound is going to be. It doesn't actually tell a story as a body of work. It feels like a bunch of songs. It makes me think of when Beyonce was talking about how singers just want to put out single after single and nobody really wants to work on an album anymore. And I don't blame the girls at Katseye for this lack of musical direction. They are not this grassroots, got it out the mud group. They were formed by a company. They auditioned, they trained, and they were voted on to be a part of this group. And for whatever reason, it seems like the company is just throwing a bunch of concepts at the wall and trying to see what sticks. It can take a while to figure out what direction you're going to steer this group in, especially if they're new. However, when the Grammy is supposedly using metrics like artistic talent and technical merit, it's a bit of a head scratcher why Katseye's Beautiful Chaos got nominated. And I've seen the charts. Katseye has been doing amazing on the charts. Their concert tickets are selling. They are making money. I don't know if the company has made a profit yet, but there is money being generated by the work of these young ladies. And I don't want to discount any of the feats that they have already achieved at all. I don't want to discount that. But I think if we are not going to just look at the charts and we're going to look at technical merit, artistic talent, it just leaves some questions if this EP, Beautiful Chaos, actually showcases those things enough to get them on that list of nominees. And this same criticism can be put towards the other Matcha Labubu Dubai chocolate people who are on the Best New Artist nomination list. But I don't know enough about them. Shawty the Bad is Addison Rae. Like, that's all I know about Addison Rae. In a room full of people, I look for you somber. All I know is that he got body shamed. Like, I don't know nothing about those people. Now, if we ask the Recording Academy how much influence labels have over Grammy nominations, they'll probably be like, oh, they don't have any influence. They have little to no influence. That's a good answer. It makes the process seem really fair. And I honestly do not think that there are still those like secret voting groups because it caused such a huge scandal before. There are artists who are under these huge labels who have a whole bunch of money. I wonder what sort of intangible influence is being wielded and what kind of influence may even subconsciously guide voters' decisions. I don't think Hybe will walk up to every member of the Recording Academy and be like, hey, vote for my artist. I don't think that they would do that. That seems a little redonkulous. However, we can't say that there is zero motivation for a label to act in a way that may be morally gray. For example, think about all the money that went into just getting Katseye to debut. They had to obviously review so many different audition submissions. They had to house these girls and train them. And it isn't just a matter of paying for the housing for the girls. They're getting dance instructors that they have to pay, vocal coaches that they have to pay. They're scouting Manon like specifically and flying somebody out there to get her up to speed. All of these things cost money, and that's just getting to the point of debut. They've been working for a while now, and all the different things that they do still cost so much money. I can only guess. Maybe they got everything for free 99. What do I know? But if we're being reasonable and realistic, it has cost a lot of money for Hybe x Geffen to create this group. If this collaboration between these two labels is a smart decision, then they're expecting to get that money back and more. Now, I can't say that they have direct influence, and I genuinely do not think that they did. I cannot help but see the motivation to want to influence the process when you have invested so much into it and when it would be of great benefit to your company. And maybe I'm just the greediest gal known to man. Maybe I've lost faith in humanity. I don't know, but I'm just being honest. In case you didn't know, Katseye isn't the only global girl group in the market. In fact, they're not even the only global girl group that has been trained under a K-pop system on a survival show concept and then debuted as a group later. A pretty similar group can be found with JYP's Girl Set. Girl Set was formed without any audience participation, however, and the name of that show was A2K. Their approach to doing a global girl group can be arguably touted as less ambitious given that they went to only America versus looking all over the world. Yada, yada, yada. It's debatable. However, what's not debatable is that two major companies have both invested into creating global girl groups and debuting them at around the same time, showing that they are thinking as people in charge of entertainment companies that this concept is potentially profitable. There is a lot of potential for Katseye and groups like them, including Girl Set. Grammy nomination could further legitimize them as a viable concept for a music group. From the perspective of an American label, it can make working with Korean entertainment companies that more enticing. America does have the majority of the global music industry revenue. A lot of money is in the American music industry. However, the fan culture is similar but different. And the differences is really where the money makers are. For example, if there is a global girl group, that is formed in conjunction within a Korean entertainment company, they can leverage some of the ways that Korean entertainment companies are able to make money outside of just making music or selling t-shirts or doing whatever American artists do. Korean artists have staples as part of what they do that incentivize fans to spend more money. There are memberships on Bubble and Weverse. There are things like season's greetings where you get a whole calendar for the year and it's just pictures of your favorite K-pop idols. These smaller things kind of feel like the equivalent of microtransactions, but there's a reason why we are in a microtransaction hellscape. It's because it makes a lot of money. And there's also the aspect of the K-pop fan culture where people are incredibly invested in the idols that they support. And while that's true for American artists as well, the investment very obviously translates into dollars spent for a lot of Korean artists. And of course, American labels want a piece of that pie as well. Overall, I think a Grammy win would be great for Katseye because it's a Grammy. And at the very least, I hope the nomination will allow the girls to continue to grow in their musicality and have even more involvement in the music that they do. There are a lot of girls in that group who have an interest in music production, who have musical backgrounds outside of their training that they had with Hybe X Geffen. They love music, and I think they deserve to have a sound that represents them and isn't just whatever their company could slap together. Katseye's story is still being told, and I am so excited to witness it. We'll see how the Grammys go down this year, not this year, in February. Let me know if there are any other groups you would like me to talk about. I'm in 5th gen now. I barely know any 4th or 5th gen groups, but I am willing to learn for my loyal subscriber base. If you liked today's video, be sure to actually like the video. Leave a comment. I would love to know your thoughts. And be sure to subscribe because there is more coming soon. I'll see you next time. Bye!